Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Parlman Uk Halabje survivor, which I lost all my family, my father, mother, four brother and one sister, with 5,000 lost in a Halabje town in Kurdistan. At the turning point of 20th century, after Israel's campaign to assimilate Kurds in Kurdistan of Iraq by the Iraqi regime, which is leader Saddam Hussein dictator, by the same dictator on 16th March 1988, in front of the eyes of Arab leagues, United Nations, the human organizations, and all other big countries, our town, Halabje, was bombarded with a forbidding weapon, which is chemical and biological weapon, which is more than 5,000 people, or civilian people died, and more than 10,000 civilians injured, which is still have suffered from this injury, including myself, still have a chest problem and eye problem. On this day, which is 16th March 1988, I lost all my loss. That day made a big space of my life. On this day, I was 11 years old. I remember I was in the house with in the garden of the house. We have a big garden in our house. I remember I came with my younger brother named Parlman. He was 2 years younger than me. And my father and mother was my only sister, and youngest brother was in the house as well, and the garden we sit down. Other two older brothers, his name was boy and his girl, was outside of the house. At that time, a number of Iraqi craft came to the sky of Halabje and started bombardment. When they started bombardment, Halabje shaked, started shouting, crying, people were praying. And my older brother came back to home. We had a shelter in the house, same that shelter which the man showed in the garden, in the video. We had the same shelter in our house. Because due to war in Iraq and Iran at that time, Halabje was bombarded many times because it was on the border of Iraq and Iran. That's why a lot of the Halabje citizens, most of the Halabje citizens made private shelter in their house, including my father who built a shelter in the garden. We have a big garden, and we made a shelter in the garden, but it was a very strong shelter. We went to the shelter, and our neighbors came as well. Many neighbors came to the shelter to save ourselves. I expect above 30 people in the shelter. The bombardment started, was continuing. At the beginning was only bombs, and the bomb was around Halabje, not inside Halabje exactly, which is just military tactics to collect Halabje citizens inside Halabje. That's why when my father and other adult people in the shelter announced that around Halabje bombarding, they decided to stay in the shelter, but they thought we cannot run out, because a lot of women and kids with them. At that time, difficult to run out around Halabje bombarded. The bombardment continued. After 1 or 2 hours, we feel some smells, like a garlic, like a banana, like an onion, or apple. When we feel that, then not myself, but adult people at that time, because I was a child, they knew that's a chemical weapon. Because they had experience, because Saddam Hussein used to use chemical weapon in other villages and places in Kurdistan before that date. When they knew that chemical bombardment, believe me, I don't know how to express it, but the shot was shaken, because everyone started crying, shouting, screaming, because they knew that chemical is very much dangerous than simple bombs. From the simple bombs, you can avoid yourself, save yourself from the shelter, from somewhere, from mountain, anywhere. But from chemical, you cannot, because chemical is a gas mixed with the air. You cannot live without this. I've been shocked, because when I see people cry, really, I didn't cry, but shocked. I look at the people, why they cry. Shocked because it was the first time I see my father cry. Believe me, I never see my father cry till that time. I look at them. Then I remember at that time my mom, he ran out to the shelter, and after 5 minutes he came back. He bought a big can of water with many towels and piece of wool. She asked us to make our way to the towels and put on our face and skins to prevent burn. We did. You make a towel wet, and I put on my face and my hands. The bombardment was steady. We felt tear drop from our eyes, skin itch, or itching skin. At that time, a bomb dropped to the house exactly behind our house. A bomb dropped to there. My older brother, he was that time was around 17, 18 years old. He ran out from the shelter to now what's going on to our neighbors. My father, mother, and other people there shouted to him to don't go out, stay in here. But he couldn't listen. So he didn't listen. He ran out to the shelter to now what's going on in our neighborhood, to save them or to do something. We waited to come back. When Reba went out, we waited around 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he no came back. My mom feels something that happened to him, maybe happened to him. That's why she shouted a few times to call him back, no response. Then she decided to go out to know what to call him back, to call my brother, call him back to the shelter. She started to go out. My youngest brother, he was 1 year and a half years old. He cried. When he cried, she took him and they went out together. My mom and my younger brother, to bring him, my brother Reba, back to the shelter. After only a few minutes, when my mom went out, we heard a shout and cry, which was my mom. She shouted, Reba has died. When he shouted, and she wants to come back to the shelter was around 12 stairs to into the shelter. When she wants to come back to the shelter, with a cry with a shouting, she drove off. And when she drove off, she died exactly in the middle of the door at the shelter, at the end of the stairs. I remember she died, she dropped off at the shelter from the stairs, and she died in front of the doors with my younger brother, Reba. When we see in this situation, everyone was crying, was shouting, and the adult people, or the people who, older than us, they ran out, including my father, my sister, my brothers. But the children didn't save me, we stayed in the shelter. Because at the beginning of the bombardment, my father warned us. He said, don't move in here. Always kids moving and playing sometimes, in that situation. He warned us that don't move in here until he gave us permission. That's why when they went out, the children still stayed in the shelter. With some adult people who were around 5, 6, more than them, which is older, old people above 60s, 70s years old. When they went out, I was lying in the shelter. I heard people crying, my father, brothers crying out in the garden. When I was in the shelter, I heard them, they crying, and they shouting, crying like that. That's for a while. Then gradually this sound being quiet. They don't come back to the shelter. And their sounds gradually being quiet. And then completely quiet. No one cry, no one sound. And they don't come back to the shelter. I didn't know what was going on in the outside, what was going to them. But I was still in the shelter. I didn't like a shock. I lost all my sense. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. Just look at the people. Why they do that? And tears roll from my eyes. Pain from my skins. And the shelter was quiet as well. No one speak. After a few hours, when I know the people, the children and the old people, was lying around me. I felt that they died. Definitely, I felt that they died, but I didn't have any sense to them. I was scared because of that body here. I was no crying because they are dying. Honestly, that's like a simple thing, because I lost my sense. I didn't know what was going on. I think the shelter, still live the shelter. The night came, the bombardment stopped just before darkness, around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the bombardment stopped. Then the night came, I was still lying in the shelter. Nobody speak. No, I didn't have any people breathe around me. Then around midnight, at the late of night, I felt thirsty. I tried to the can of water which my mom brought to make a towel, wet towels. I tried to drink that water because I felt thirsty. My childhood friend, he was our neighbor, he lied next to me. He kicked the can. He said, "Don't drink, it's dirty." I just heard that sound, nothing else. I didn't drink it, then lie down again in the same place. That night gone. Then the next day came, which is 17th March 1988. I was still in the shelter. People around me, nobody moved. Just I know I'm still alive, and people around me, the bodies around me. I think my mother just a few meters far from me, their bodies far from me. Other day, around midday, I had some people just spoke in the garden. They said, they came to the garden, to our house in the garden, said, "Oh, everybody died." I tried to call them that I'm still alive in the shelter. I couldn't speak because all my skin, my throat burned. I couldn't speak. Then they left. They didn't come to the shelter. They left me alone. And that day came. I was just lying in the shelter. After they gone, at the same day, the 17th March, I tried to go out to know what's going on the outside. I want to stand up, I couldn't stand up because all my body burned. But I wanted to know what's going on outside. Then I tried best, I couldn't walk. I was like a baby on my knees and my shoulders, like a baby, like a 5-month baby, like that. Like that, I walked above some bodies, including my mom. Then walked through the stairs. It was very difficult because I couldn't stand. When I reached the end of the stairs, what I see? I see my brother, my 2 brothers, and one sister died in front of the stairs. My sister holds Reba's head, which is on her arm, and they died together. I saw my family's body far from me because we had a big house, and it was a Eastern house, which is that's toilet, bathroom here, and then bedrooms, sitting rooms like that, and between them was garden. I saw my family's body in front of the bathroom, but it was far from me, around 20 meters more than far from me. He lied down there. I knew that's my father, but I couldn't see well because I bent and tear dropped from my eyes. I couldn't see blood of my family, of my father's body. I couldn't see blood myself. But until today, more than 5 people told me that they saw my father at that time being mad, like being crazy. Some people saw my father, he laughed, sometimes he cried, sometimes even somebody told me that he saw my father, he danced in the street. Then he killed himself with knife. As more than 5 people told me till now, but I didn't see blood on his body. But many people told me that because the chemical weapon affected his mind and make him abnormal mentality. I tried to go out to open the main door to go out what's going on outside. Then when I reached the door, just Lisa 1 meter, I want to open the door. Lisa before reach the door, Lisa 1 meter. I heard some people shouting, and I say honestly, because I'm witness now to say honestly, I heard some people shouting and fighting in the main road. I don't know what happened. Just some strangers together at that time, and they started to make ready them weapon, not shoot, just make it ready. I scared, didn't open the door, then back the same way to the shelter and lie down at the same place. I didn't know what was going on in the main road. Just I heard that sound. Because I was a child, I scared. I didn't go to outside to know what's going on in the main road. That's why I came back to the shelter and lie down at the same place. Time by time, I feel very weakness. When I touch my skin, I feel that's burn and feel nausea, vomiting, like that. The day is gone, and next night came, which is night of 17th, and next day came. How I know that next day, the days came, some people say all the bears died, but we had a garden and a lot of trees in our garden. When I heard the birds sounds, I knew that's the day. When the birds sounded, I knew that's the night, because I couldn't see well and dark as well. The next day came, which is 18 March 1988. I was really very, very weakness. I couldn't move at all. Just my sense working, I knew that I'm still working. I'm still living. I'm still in life. I couldn't move at all. I couldn't speak. And always lost consciousness and wake up, lost consciousness and wake up. I was like that. Even no eat, no drink at all. When I woke up, I heard that some people, I heard the camera voice. The camera was when somebody taking photos from camera. I was completely blind at that time, just 18th March. My eyes was completely closed. Just I heard that some people in front of the door, I filmed and taking photos. I tried to tell them that I'm still alive. I want to shout, I couldn't shout. I want to move, I even couldn't move my body. Got very weakness and just felt, just like a mind work. Other part of my body was very completely stopped in work. I couldn't tell them that I'm still alive, but I heard that some people there, and that people, or that person there, he spoke a different language. Because I was a child, I don't know which language exactly. I knew at that time, I couldn't recognize Kurdish, Farsi, and Arabic. I now know no Kurdish, no Farsi, no Arabic. He spoke different language. That's why when several years ago, when I saw Mr. Richard Diston, he talked about, I told him my story. He said maybe I was. I expected he came to the shelter. Anyway, I couldn't tell him that I'm still alive. He left me alone. He went. I stayed in the shelter, and next night came. Then, for the next night and other days, most of the time I was lost my consciousness. I was very weakness, and I can't say 90% or only 10% I was in my life. I was waiting for that. Believe me, I was waiting for that just. As of 19th of March, when I wake up, I felt that some people in the shelter, they spoke Farsi, Iranian language. I tried to tell them I'm still alive. I'm in this body, no, I'm not dying. I couldn't tell them, I couldn't speak to them, I couldn't stand up. But hopefully, just this hand, I hold it, I expect 10 seconds, 20 seconds like that, then they saw me. I expect they had a torch, like a light, that's why they saw me. But the shelter not electric and was completely dark. But when I moved this hand, they saw me. Then they knew that I'm still alive. They took me out from the shelter. When I feel that somebody took me, I knew that they took me out from the shelter through the garden, but I couldn't see anything. I was completely blind. They put me in a car, which is like a pickup, pickup, which is the back of the car was non-covered. They put me on some pupils, the people in the car. I heard them that they cry, they moaning like an injured, they get injured, same me. They put me on top of them. I mean, many people were in this car. Then the car started drive, and the car drive around 20 minutes or half an hour around the road of the Halabje, and they put injured people on the top, on that car. When I was at the beginning, I was on the top. Then at the end, I've been in anger. They put many people on top of me as well. Then I heard the car stop, and I heard a helicopter sound. I knew that helicopter. I couldn't see. Just as I said, my mind worked. I just felt that something happened around me. I heard the helicopter. I knew that helicopter close to me. I feel that they took people from the car to the helicopter. They took me as well. Just before the helicopter took me to the helicopter, I lost my consciousness. I didn't know what came on after in the helicopter, how long I've been in the helicopter. When they take me, I didn't know. When I woke up, I felt that somebody washing me in the bathroom. I said, where I am, a lady with a Kurdish Irani girl, she told me, you are in Kermanshah hospital. This Kermanshah, a city in Iran. I stayed at the hospital for more than 40 days, 50 days, like that. I was completely blind. But after doing that 40, 50 days, my eyes gradually opened. But not very well, just open, I could see it all. When I felt a little bit better, then they transferred me to the Iran hospital, which is called Shahid Hospital in Tehran. I couldn't leave, even when I was in the hospital, I couldn't move. I was in a chair for a few months. And stayed there for 6 months of treatment in the hospital. I want to mention something in here. As I said, sorry. Okay. All right. When I shocked at the beginning, when I shocked at the beginning of the bombardment, I was still in shock. Because when I was in the hospital, I was with the other children. Some more children, other children was injured as well. I knew that my family died. I definitely knew that my family died. And I told them this story to my friends, to the children as well. And they told me, the children as well, they told their stories about their family. At the meantime, we hope that Halabje now is same, Halabje is quiet, his liver is normal. We thought that our family at home, we don't expect that our family died. And even I knew them bodies, but like a dream, you know. Because when I spoke with my friends, already said, when you go back to Halabje, you come to our house, or I tell my father what you did to me, what you said to me, I tell my mother what you said to me. So we still in shock. I stayed at the hospital for 6 months. After 6 months, when I feel better, they transferred me to a refugee camp in which is called Sengul camp. Also, Halabje survivors was living there. And at the reception from the speaker, big speaker, shouting the people my names to call my family come to pick up me. A few times shouted, and I waited more than half an hour. Nobody came to, and my family or some people to know me. Then somebody came. He said, "I know him. His grandmother is lived in another refugee camp, which is Hastings refugee camp." Then they transferred me to a refugee camp, Hastings refugee camp, and at the reception, they shouted from the reception, and after a few minutes, my uncle, my grandmother, my cousins came to there. When they saw me, they start crying. They hold me, and I was very happy at that time. When I saw my grandmother, my son, I didn't know that my father died or my family. Like a kid, when you visit your father, your grandmother, your uncle. Then they cried. I don't know why they cried. They took me to the tent, and I was sitting around there, among them. I looked around myself. Everybody cried. Then at that time, I knew what happened to me. From the beginning of bombardment until that time, I didn't cry. At this time, when I woke up and cried, what happened to my family?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.